Hello, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome to episode 12 of Aussie Cluff, our bid to return Nottingham Forest to the top of European football. And welcome to FA Cup final day. There it is, Aston Villa versus Nottingham Forest, League One, Aston Villa versus Premier League champions Aston Villa. We'll get to that in just a second. It's going to be tough, but let's see what we can do here. Now, before we get to that, we'll just quickly wrap up the league season. We did have two games to go after the semi-final last episode. Away to Sunderland, at home to Shrewsbury. As you can see, they both ended up at 1-1 draws. Sunderland was an even game. A draw was a fair result. You can see Ian Owens put us in the lead before Matt Foreman, for Sunderland, equalised. Shrewsbury, similar sort of situation. They went in front. Connor Egan came up with the equaliser for us. We were the better team in this game, but poor finishing cost us, and we were playing some of our younger or reserve players, so it's not entirely unreasonable that that the finishing wasn't all it could have been. You can see we had a big gap, a 20-day gap, so we played a friendly just to keep fitness up, and you can see it was a 9-0. It was against some rubbish team that I've never heard of, and goal scorers galore. So that was a good little confidence boost. However, we do have a few injury concerns. If we just look at the squad here, you'll see that we have lost Elazar. He's picked up an injury, and you'll notice that Callum Mosley is no longer at the squad. He has a serious 3 or 4 months, I think it was a knee injury, so Aston Villa's recalled him, and of course Ollie Day can't play against his parent club, so we're very much weakened ahead of this game. And before we get on with the game, it's as good a time as any to have a look at how Villa got on this season. Of course, our former club that we are playing works as a bit of a scouting operation as well, doesn't it? So we can see their top goal scorer, Alvaro Morata. Now, he's been brought in after we left. It looks like Hans Daly's got a 15. He's had a few. The Boob with 13 goals as well. Jordan Cameron, 11 goals from 12 starts is a decent effort as well, isn't it? James Bree is transferred. So you can see there, Callum Mosley, he's been recalled out, 7 weeks to 3 months, torn calf muscle. So that's a shame. He couldn't have played in this game anyway, so it's not like it really cost us in the sense that he can't play. Look at appearances. Conrad Lima looks like the big loser since we've left, doesn't he? Only 3 starts, 34 appearances off the bench. Dixon's had a lot more game time. That's probably something to do with that. Ramadan Sobi has done okay, but I don't know that he was needed. Ali and Felipe look like they've played a lot of games in midfield. Tieran Kearney, someone that's been brought in after us. Let's have a look at average ratings. And Hans Daly, I mean, he's a good player, isn't he, that we signed. So he's topping those. Morata, Roberts, Felipe, Deli Ali, the Boob, Sobi as well, Stamenkovic. So we can see they've had a decent enough season there. Let's have a look at the schedule, just see how they've gotten on. They did, as I said, win the Premier League, and it looks like they got knocked out in the Champions League in the round of 16. That's not great, is it? Let's have a look here. Away goals is what's done them. Own goal, they got the fourth really late. Look at that. So it looked like it was pretty much a done deal coming into that 94th minute. That just the away goals just meant it looked a little bit closer than it was. So that's going to be a failure, I think. We certainly got at least to the quarterfinals most of our seasons, I think. And I said they were Premier League champions. If we just have a quick look at the table here, you can see got it by a point over Manchester United. A 0-0 draw on the final day. Manchester United, they went and lost to Chelsea. So Chelsea did us a favour, or did Villa a favour there. So that's 4 in a row now. So that's good to see that Jurgen Klopp has continued our fine tradition. Now, of course, after this game, we're going to wrap up the season. We're going to have our goal of the season contest as well, so make sure you stick around for that. We have scored a few nice goals this season, so it'll be good to look back on those. But we have the FA Cup first of all, and these are the heroes that we're sending out. Thomas McGill is in goal. Not too much faith in him, to be honest. We did sign him as a backup, and only a backup. But Ollie Day is cup-tied or can't play against his parent club, so he's not going to be playing. So it is McGill that we're relying on. It's Davidson, Suter, and Malukase across the back. Scando and Silva Lopez down the wings. Mason and McCormick in midfield. Tilly, now we have to go with Mars and Egan up top. I did consider a 4-3-3 formation, but we haven't played it all season. Mars should be fine. Egan is very hit and miss. If we have a quick look, you haven't seen much of him. You can see statistically in physical stats, he's okay. His finishing isn't great. His teamwork's good. Off the ball is okay. He's decent. He's someone that we'll probably keep around as a backup. Not someone I'd like to have starting the FA Cup final. But let's see how we go. Okay, so they're going 4-4-2. Now, they were expected, according to our scouts, to play a 5-3-2... a 4-3-2. formation. So this isn't what we're expecting, which is a little bit of a spanner in the works. But of course, Klopp has such a terrible record in finals that you just never know. Can we do a passionate... I like the go out there, good luck lads, go and pull off an upset. I think I like that. Then a calm, we have faith. Of course, there is European football on the line here. Should we win, we'll be in the Europa League next year. Now, I'm not sure if that would be a help or a hindrance, if I'm honest, but let's see how we go here. Come on, boys. All right, back at Wembley, and here we go. Now, of course, it's going to be a little bit difficult here for me to not be commentating for the Villa game because we did spend quite a few seasons there, and instinctively, they're the players that I'm a little bit more familiar with. Now, that's gone across for Stamikovic from Morata off the post. Lucky. Let's give them a concentrate here early on. Now, Villa under Klopp score a lot of their goals, or under us they did as well, a lot of their goals from crosses coming into the box. So what I've done, as usual, with our strikers are marking fullbacks, and I've got our wingbacks marking their wide men. So that's going to be Daly there, and of course Roberts on the other side. There's a decent pass. Silva Lopez got onto that. He can. Now, can we get a cross into the box? It's easy for Kone to clear away. Can we win that back? We can. Malo Case has done well there, hasn't he? We're playing a little bit narrow, or fairly narrow is the instruction. Try and not get played through the middle. We do have sort of towers at the back, so we should... Oh, that's not great. Morata's in. Decent save from McGill. I have not as much faith in him as I did with Ollie Day. We signed him very much as a backup. Can we get this clear, please? We can. Nicely done, Davidson. So we signed him very much as a backup, and I'm not thrilled that he has to play this game, if I'm honest. He's not actually developing as much as I was hoping as well. He's actually going backwards statistically, rather, or attribute-wise, which is not what I particularly wanted, obviously. Let's see here. We've got what could be a highlight for us. Nope, spoke too soon. I'm a little bit concerned, that we're getting knocked over the top here. Wilson, McGill's done okay there, hasn't he? What we're going to have to do is just drop off a little bit here, because that's a few times now that's happened. We just don't want to make sure we know how fast Wilson is, and if we give his pace a chance, we're going to be in trouble. Oh, decent header from Suter. Our strength is in the air at the back. So I think by dropping off, playing narrow, hopefully that'll entice them to go wide and have to get the crosses in, and we should hopefully be able to head those away. That's the plan. Obviously, we are even more so, I think, than the Chelsea game, outmanned here. Yeah, see, we just can't. Maybe a little bit more patience. I'm wondering if we should look to exploit the flanks ourselves. Oh, it's a good touch from Wilson. McGill, it's fallen for Roberts. Oh, Davidson's there. That should have been a goal. Morata surely had a tap in. I'm wondering if we might do that, actually. If they like to score their goals from the flanks, if we try and attack them down the flanks, so that might take away a little bit of that strength for them. Try and use that strength against them. It's very strange to be plotting against Aston Villa. Let's give this a concentrate when we can. If we can get in 0-0, we saw against Chelsea that things can happen. They're looking nervous too, which is interesting. In the build-up, Jurgen Klopp was basically saying that we had no chance. So he has put a bit of pressure on them, which is okay. Oh, it's gone to the near post. Tell you what, McGill is absolutely on fire. We are running our luck very, very fine here. They should have had probably 3 or 4 goals, if we're being honest. But they don't. It's 0-0. Is it half-time? I think we're coming into half-time. I'm going to say I'm not happy because our match ratings aren't great. We've had some of the ball, but we haven't really created anything. So it's going to seem harsh, but it's to try and get a reaction. All fired up, so we may have just got that reaction out of them. All right, we'll just get back out there, see what we can do. We do have a few options on the bench. I'm wondering, we know Lewis Brunt, the deep-lying playmaker role, can often make himself available. I'm wondering if that could be something. Tilly's not having his best game. We're not getting him on the ball. All right, corner comes in from Felipe. It's gone to the edge of the area. We've seen this routine before at Villa. Paddy Roberts, get in front of it, boys. Oh, it's an own goal. I'm pretty sure that that's gone in off one of our players. It has. I think Bobby Mark has cleared that into Mason. Oh, offside. We've got away with that. I think Bobby Mack cleared that into Mason. I think that's what happened there. Can we give them some encouragement here? We've got to think changes here. We're coming back into this a little bit. It's going to be, we're going to just have to get a chance and take it. We're not going to get dominant periods, it doesn't look like. And we're missing our two Bane strikers, and that really hurts us. If we'd had Mosley and if we'd had Elazage, then maybe. Even if we knew Mosley couldn't play. Even if we'd been able to have Elacase and Mars up front, maybe we could have had something. It's a loose pass, but no, it's just gone back to them. We're not able to get on the ball at any time for it. Oh, that's not good defending. Morata. I think that was it Davidson or was it Suter? One of them's just drifted in under the ball. So we're going to have a think about this. Yeah, watch this. One of our defenders, Morata's gone in. It was Davidson. He's gone under the ball instead of just staying on his man. I don't understand what he's doing. That's really frustrating. Okay, so let's have a think about this. We're not playing well. We're not creating anything. We're motivated though, which is good. That shows life, doesn't it? Now I wonder. I'm tempted to maybe put a man back in midfield and maybe try and win the battle there. Mason's not having a good game though. All right, let's bring Brunt on for Mason. I do like him in that role. And if this doesn't do anything, can Tilly play up front? I don't mind that. Maybe as a trequartista, and we'll bring Zelor in there. And we'll just give them something different to think about here. 2 ex-Villa players, of course. Maybe they'll be fired up to play their old club. We'll just give them more encouragement. I mean, we are hopelessly... I hate losing finals. But we really did so well to even be here. You'd like to think if we could get a goal, though, that'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? Even if we end up losing the final. All right, we're telling them to push forward. Can we get onto that? No. Oh, Davidson's let Morata go again. Oh, no, the boob. And that's probably it. That's probably it. Davidson hasn't had his best game, has he? That's both goals, I think, he's probably been responsible for. It's a good pass from Felipe down the channel. Morata, you can see Davidson's let his man go and pulled it back, and he should have even maybe been there to cut out the cutback. But yeah, that's so disappointing. Is there something we can do here to try and let's try low crosses? We'll have a go. I mean, we really have nothing to lose now, do we? We'll get stuck in. We'll roam from positions. Much more. We'll go more mixed passing. We'll try maybe we'll take it off, exploit the flanks, and just see. We're more at risk, I think, of conceding a third here than we are of scoring one, but it's a little bit of a disappointing way to finish the season, I know. But as I said, we've got goal of the season coming up after this, so even though it doesn't look like we're going to score a goal here, we can have a look back at some of our best ones, which I think will be nice. And of course, you'll be able to vote on that on my Twitter. For your favourite, it'll be at Aussie Villain. And if you did enjoy the season, I know it's a disappointing way to end it. Can we get that clear? We can. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. If you're new as well, subscribe, because we're going to be in the championship next season. We're going to make some signings, and that's 3. That's disappointing. It's just disappointing. But we're a League One club up against the Premier League champions, so it was never easy, was it? It is a little bit disappointing to concede from a corner. Yeah, I mean, should we have played differently? The attacking mentality, it got us past Chelsea and it got us past Reading. So I don't necessarily think it was the wrong thing to do to go with that again, but Yeah, I think Villa are just another step up. Oh, it's a good tackle there. Well done, Louis Brunt. Can Tilly get something in for Zelor? Can we get a ball forward? There we go, Louis Mars. Can we get one? Come on, Louis. Go on, Louis Mars. Oh, what's he doing? Just have a shot. Go on, Scando. Gets it in. It's a terrible cross. It's a terrible cross. Louis Mars, just have a shot, mate. Oh, so there it is. It's 3-0. It's horribly disappointing. We won't be in Europe. I mean, we never won the FA Cup with Villa, so, maybe that's something. There we go. Well done, boys. Why we couldn't do that when we were there, who knows? But, yeah, I mean, it's roughly what we feared could happen, isn't it? There's no point reaming them out. It was just one of those days. That's all we can say, isn't it? When 3 of your best players go missing before kickoff, it's just so disappointing. So there we go. Aston Villa win the FA Cup. So that's something, I guess. If, like me, you are a Villa fan and that's how you stumbled across the series. If you're a Forest fan, I apologise. We'll be back next season. We'll look to go one better in the Cup and, of course, the Championship as well. It's another $1 million in the bank. We'll have a quick look at the finances since this is the end of the season. You can see that's helped us, but we are struggling. We have lost quite a bit of financial impact this season. How did we end up with that much money? You must have sold a ton of players in that summer. So there is the finances. So that's that. Wait right there. We'll come back. We'll do the end of season awards and wrap up our first season at Nottingham Forest. Okay, so here we go, our end of seasons award. You can see James Tilley, 74% of the vote, resounding, ahead of Liam Mason and Harry Souttar. Ollie Barnett got the goal of the season against Lincoln, so look out for that, of course. As I said, the goal of the season, there'll be that and 3 others that you can vote to determine your favourite. Zelor was the signing of the season. Well done to Mr. Zelor. Young player of the season was Elazage. I'm not sure, Callum Mosley, does he not count as young player? Would have probably just about given it to him, but Elazage, worthy winner. You can see our team of the season, Ollie Day, fair enough. We've gone Malacase, Davidson, and Harry Souttar. Again, fair enough. De Silva, Lopez, and Njoku. Yeah, I mean, Scando only came in to the second half of the year, but I think those two, you couldn't really argue, could you? Bobby Mack and Liam Mason, of course, in midfield with Tilly, Callum Mosley, and Elazage. That was pretty much our starting lineup, wasn't it? It was only really the wing-backs that changed, so difficult to disagree with too much of that. Top goal scorer was Elazage with 20. I thought Mosley had more. Maybe that's league. Anyway, you know why I bet that is because Callum Mosley's not at the club. I think Callum Mosley had 25 at least. Elazage again with the highest match rating. And Njoku, 12 assists. Louis Brunt, 87% pass rate. I tell you, his stats aren't great, but he plays well. I do like him. I think we might look to keep him in the squad for next season. Tilly, man of the match 10 times. Njoku with 10 yellow cards. And Toth sent off twice. That's a little bit frustrating for that, isn't it? The season review, lost in the FA Cup final, lost in the first round of the Carabao Cup. Could not have been more different fortunes in the Cups, could there? Winner of League One, of course, knocked out in the group stage of the Checkatrade Trophy. We never even tried in that. 6-3 is our high point. That was an absolutely stunning game. That was our best performance by far. Colchester, yeah, that looks like it was pretty poor, wasn't it? They did the double overs actually this year, Colchester. Averaged 20,000, 66% full, of course. Our new stadium's actually only 27,000, so it'll be much closer to. I don't understand why we have a new stadium with a smaller capacity, but that's okay. 33 players used. As we've said before, if you followed the series, I do like to use a lot of players and give young guys a go. Squad dynamics, yeah, you'd expect after that final we would have dropped off a little bit. You can see Tilly, Souttar, and Mason are the team leaders. They'll all be around next season as long as I think Souttar has a release clause. So as long as that's not met, those will be all around next season. And end of season confidence review, as you would expect. Very pleased with the overall job we're doing because we couldn't have done much more, could we? We almost, as a League One club, went to Europe. So that's it for this episode. That's it for this season. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. We'll be back on Thursday. We begin the World Cup. We also begin our campaign into the Championship. Hopefully it'll be another successful promotion campaign, but we'll just have to wait and see there. There'll be some signings. There will be, of course, a review of the friendlies and a whole new season to look forward to. So as I said, that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. But before we go, here are our goals of the seasons. And of course, don't forget to vote for your favourite at Aussie Villain. there'll be a poll up for you to choose your favourite. So until Thursday, when we begin our life in the Championship, I've been Aussie Villain. Take care.
Apologize. Prisoner of convenience, with apathy to injury, the transport of my pleasures would be less of a misery for fish, bird, dolphin, manatee. What's good for us is good for me. 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 What's good.
And here are our top 4 goals for the 24-25 season. Vote for your favourite now on Twitter.
Can we